Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're back, people. We got some more Sarah Boone, folks. More Sarah Boone, more shenanigans. Okay, so starting this one off, we got the building manager. Now, I've met my fair share of building managers, right? And I will say one thing: they know the tea. They know when you have a fight with your girlfriend. They know when you're not allowed back in the house, when you're sleeping in the car. They understand. They know when you're struggling a little bit on those payments to stay in your house. They know all that shit. So we have the police tapping in with the building manager of Sarah Boone. Now, again, like I said, they be knowing everything, especially if they're an on-site building manager or if they had to get called to the site a lot, they'll have some tea for us. So without further ado, people, we're going to go ahead and jump into that video right this very moment. Grab the things you guys need, get comfortable, grab your little throw blanket, cover up, get warm if you're cold. Let's go ahead and check this thing out.
County case number 20-017904. I'm currently located at Tealwood Park Apartments, 4704 Lucier, for Winter Park, Florida 32792. I am here with my partner, Detective Scott Long, with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And can you state your name?
Melissa May Sexton.
You are the property manager of this complex, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we had Kim in here asking about the tenant.
I saw you guys in one of the videos. You're like, I hate the detective's cough. She's so like, bro, chill, dog. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know. What if she was sick last week? You guys, and it was a couple of you guys in my comments in the last Sarah Boone video. You guys were like, man, that cough is just rubbing me the wrong way with her cough. Like, damn, all right, shit. I just had to bring that up. I found that funny as hell. You guys are on that lady cop. Now here she go again. Let's begin.
It's Sarah Boone and George Torres, and they have lived here. You gave us a date of February 9th, 2018.
Correct.
Okay. You had told us that Sarah would confide in you about her and George's relationship. Can you tell us further what she would tell you?
Yes.
Man, what did I tell you, brother? Brothers and sisters, what did I tell you? They know the tea. And Sarah confided in her? Okay, we about to find out. Anyways, let's continue.
Sarah, shortly after she moved in with George, she came to the office to talk to me. We noticed bruises and stuff on her, and she asked me if she could talk to me privately and asked how she would be able to get George off of the lease. Is there any way to do that? Which prompted, deeper conversation. She proceeded to let me know and was showing me a lot of bruises and marks. There were handprints, scratches. She even at one point had to go to the hospital. Through multiple conversations that we had, it steadily progressed. She had a very large gash at one point in her shin. She had to go to the hospital and get that taken care of. I'm not exactly sure what it was from, but I think it had to do when they got into a fight outside and something got broken.
Man, this shit is straight up melee combat. This is elite combat that's going on right now. What the what? A gash on her shin? What do you do? Throw a couch at her? What do you throw a chair at her? Like, what is going on? This is the type of shit that makes you think like, yo, may the best man win. Because they were both fighting each other like they were MMA fighters, bro. I'm like, what is really going on? Y'all, they need to chill with that shit.
I think it's one of their wine glasses or something. But, she came to me at one point asking, what do I do? Like, how can I get rid of him? I've never dealt with this type of situation. I just counsel her as she continued to come to me and explain to her that, she had to make a decision if she was going to stay with him or not be with him. If she, was going to try to work things out, they needed to seek out therapy, help, something. It wasn't too long after that last conversation that I found out the police had come and George was arrested. I don't remember about how long it was in between time, but there was another incident after that where they both got arrested, all for domestic. The complaints I've had throughout their whole term, roughly about 20 to 30 noise complaints, fighting, arguing, banging on doors, loud music. It was just always something pertaining to their lifestyle. I do know that I have seen both of them intoxicated as early as 9 o'clock in the morning, and I mean staggering, falling down, intoxicated.
Damn. That means as you wake up, get that bottle. Let's go. Get the bottle, babe. You see, get the tequila, babe. Yep. Let's get that shit. Yeah, let's drink it. Yeah. Let's watch a TV show. Let's get fucked up, babe. That existence must suck. And I mean, I've done the whole wake up at 9 o'clock and start drinking, but that's because I had a hangover. Or that's because, like, you know what I mean? It's like we're trying to bounce back. We got to go to work or something like that. But it's not like I'm doing that every day. And I'm not getting staggering either. I'm drinking to where I feel okay so I could go to work from like a rough night from before or something, right? But damn, dog. I mean, if that's a habit to be drinking at 9 a.m., holy shit, dog. They're really out here doing it for real. Doing it for real. I don't know why people drink that much. It has to be severe depression, right? That's the only thing I could think about. Extreme depression. That's why you drink so much. I don't know. That's just my assumption. I could be wrong.
Both of them. There was a noise complaint that I had received about some fighting one day that was going on, and Sarah was actually wandering around the property very drunk, barefoot, not properly dressed, I'll say it like that, sitting on the side of her building over by the retention pond. When I was told about that is when I approached Sarah, sat down, talked to her. I even had also separately went and talked to George and told them that once they had sobered up, I needed to have a meeting with them. The following business day, because this was a Friday, I do remember that. I went to see them Monday, roughly about 12 o'clock. They were sober. They apparently had some epiphany, that they were going to straighten themselves up and start acting right. And they did very good for, well, basically until now. I haven't gotten any complaints since May of the past year, But
oh, wow. So they got their shit. Well, maybe they were just better at fighting, doing their hand-to-hand combat inside the confines of their house, Maybe they got better at being quiet with the hand-to-hand combat. I don't know. Because I don't know how it goes from peace for like months and months to her locking them in a suitcase, unless she really had it out for him. Unless she really didn't fuck with old boy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But you can see the toxicity, like wandering around even if she wasn't drunk, just her wandering around the complex half dressed, that's like the telltale sign that, yeah, something's not right at the house. You guys are going through something serious for you to be wandering up and down like, come on now.
At that point, the complaints were consistent, monthly, always.
Would you ever speak with George by himself? Like, did he ever confide in you about their relationship?
The one time where, like I was just saying, that when I talked to her, she asked me to go talk to him. But she's like, please, but put the fear of God in him. Fear of God in him. I'm a very stern property manager. I don't tolerate a whole lot of crap.
Right.
And she knew that, and she seemed scared of him at the time. So I said, sure, no problem, just stay here. We'll go talk to him. I went over, sat down, talked to George. I talked to him for about 30 minutes altogether. And, George had explained to me that she was actually the aggressive one. And the reason she ended up with Marks is, in my perception of what he was trying to explain is that she's very hands-on, in the face, dramatized and talking and explaining or fussing or whatever they might have been doing.
And can we confirm that? Yes, we can. Because the last time, I don't know who's seen this first, Patreon or my YouTube, but in my other video, when she got approached by the officer, she was all up in his face. Oh my God, don't do that. Hands in the air, moving around, eyes super wide. She was just ready to hands on some shit. So yeah, I do 100% believe, 1000 believe George that she was aggressive and she was very hands on because I mean she's getting that way with the police officer. She's walking into the police officer with her eyes wide. Like you see somebody with their eyes wide walking into you, that might prompt you to knock them the fuck out because I don't know, I don't trust you. You're getting a little close and you're looking a little crazy. Just saying. So yeah, you know, I believe him. Not saying that he should be putting his hands on her. He honestly should have just ran away or something. But I believe that she was aggressive. That's for sure.
And I believe that because Jean, my assistant, doesn't even like to deal with her, would avoid her like the plague, because she was always drunk and she's very hands-on. There was one day, as a matter of fact, it was that same day that I talked to George by himself. She kept grabbing me by the arms to the point that I told her, I said, "You touch me one more time, we're gonna have a problem. You know, I'm either gonna contact the police or whatever we need to do, but you can't keep grabbing on me." I had asked her several times to quit touching me. And because of that, she would do the same thing to Jean, and Jean didn't like it.
Right.
So, you know, that's what he was explaining to me, is she was always the touchy one, the aggressive one, you know, not that she was hitting him, but she would be like in his face, or she might, you know, push him, or, you know, little things like that. And she would block him from coming out of the room or whatnot, and he would take her and move her. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, I know women like this, man. Ooh. I know women like this. I used to know women like this. Put themselves in front of you when you're trying to leave. Now, what type of devilish shit is that? What type, man? Listen, you're blocking me at this point. Therefore, you know, what happens when you corner a rat? They start getting kind of crazy, huh? That type of shit, it's like they're trying to draw the contact. It's like, you know, in basketball, they try to draw the foul. They put themselves all up on you so they could bump you and they could draw the foul. That's what she's doing. She's drawing contact. She wants to be hit. I don't want to say it like that, but she low-key likes that shit, bro. Put in the comments if you guys know women who like that shit. They want all the smoke. They want all that toxic shit. That's what fuels them. That's what gives them life. That's what gives them life right there. That toxicity, it's like it charges them up. Yeah, that's Sarah right there for you. You mean to tell me I'm pissed off and I'm trying to leave and you block the door and then I have to physically move you? No, that's toxic to infinity. That's hit me. Come on, hit me. No, you're not going nowhere. You gotta hit me first. You gotta fucking abuse me first, motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting from that. That shit is wild. You mean it's anyways, that shit's kind of wild to me.
He had explained it to me.
Right.
She has told me, even literally to Monday, I have been told by her several occasions that he has drugged her around by the hair of her head. I've been, you know, told about by neighbors. I'm sorry I don't have it anymore, but at one point a tenant actually sent us a video clip via text of them two fighting and beating on each other out in the backyard. There was another complaint incident about a ladder being propped up to the wall that George was using to climb over the wall to try to get back into his apartment, sneaking in and out. There was another night, sorry, I forgot to tell you about this too. I got a call for one of my vacants in building 24, 4724, which is not their building. There was a tent set up on my vacant back porch. And it's apparently where George was sleeping because she had him out of the house.
Bro, just leave. Go to your brother's house. Go anywhere. I would go to a homeless shelter. They would treat me better at a fucking homeless shelter than this shit. No, sir. No bueno. No. Couldn't do that. You got me fucked up. I call the police and get myself into the house and be like, yeah, you know, I pay for this bitch too. So if she don't want to be here, she can leave. Like, I don't know how you see it. I am not sleeping in no tent outside and I pay half the rent. You got me twisted. You got me all the way twisted. Listen, you want to get me out the house? We got to break up. We not doing none of that. Oh, you gonna sleep somewhere else tonight. Oh, word? Oh, word? Okay, you finna be irritated. You finna be real mad when I'm right there in the house and I'm getting in the bed. What are you talking about? You can leave. You could go.
I have another tenant here who may or may not speak to you. I'm not sure. For that reason, I don't want to give you her name just yet without talking to her. But George and her fighting a different evening had actually wandered into her home. He was so drunk and had no idea where he was. And when she came home, luckily her kids were not there because she's a single mother with 3 kids. George was actually upstairs in her house hollering and looking for Sarah, thinking he was in his apartment. So we've had some incidences with them in that aspect, but nothing has ever been so bad that, I didn't feel that we could resolve the problem. And like I said, we haven't had any issues since May of last year. No complaints, no nothing until this. So we thought, hey, they're doing great. Maybe they fixed their problems. I mean,
has she come to you since May of any issues?
No,
okay.
Not one time.
But then again, you did. It basically, they were told you're going to be evicted if there are.
Yes.
So it's kind of like tighten up or get out.
Yeah, it was put up or shut up. I was over it.
Yeah.
If it continued, I was putting them out.
Right.
So.
Did you ever see any marks on George?
No. Not one. Not one. George was.
Oh, damn. Okay. We got property manager saying that George had not one scar ever that she saw, which also could be like, she didn't see George all the time. I'm pretty sure Sarah was the one like, here, look what he did to me. Look at my neck. Look at the scars. Yeah, look what he did to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure she kind of like pushed it more publicly to let people know that she was getting hurt. But I mean, we still have to think about Jorge's brother, who said that there were scratches all over his neck. He had a black eye sometimes. But again, all this information will come to light when she goes to court. All the maybes and the what ifs, they're going to get cleared up.
Was a little bit darker skinned.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Would you see Georgia as often as you saw Sarah? It sounds like Sarah came to you a lot more than.
Yeah. We would always see Sarah as far as the only time I ever really saw George is the time when we actually got George to sign off the lease.
Right.
And he came to me and said, I can't get back in the house. She's got all my personal paperwork because would you please have a conversation with her so that I can get my personal paperwork back from her? He goes, but do you have a set of bolt cutters for my bicycle that's out back? And I said, what's it chained to, And he said, it's actually chained to your AC unit. I said, yeah, no problem. I'll cut the lock for anything attached to my AC unit. It's not supposed to be attached to that.
Right.
So I went out back and actually cut the lock on both of the bike locks because Sarah would not answer the door for me because she knew George was there. Once George was gone, Sarah had my cell phone number. Being that I had already went through and just got out of a very abusive relationship, Sarah knew that because, I confided in her and explained that. She did feel a lot more comfortable in coming to me. So I told her if she ever needed someone, or it was an emergency, she could reach out to me and I would do what I could to help her. I felt bad for her. But after a while, when she just kept taking him back, I just told her, I said, you're just going to have to call the authorities on your own. It's obvious you don't want it to stop. He's not doing anything to get help according to you. Can you just keep dealing with it? I mean, there comes a point where it's just stupidity. But that's the run-ins and incidences that I've had with him. I've never seen a mark on George, and he's never told me that she's hit her at all.
Okay.
But she has told me in front of him that he has hit her and things that he's done, and he was not denying it. He never denied it.
She laughs every time that she says something serious. Like, yeah, he's dead now. Like, whenever it's something serious, she'll just hit you with the little, like, all right, ma'am, we get that you nervously laugh, but the shit gets a little annoying. But, I don't know. Property manager property manager is leaning more towards Sarah's side of the fence because Sarah, is a woman getting abused, and she, is a woman and she got abused. So, I mean, obviously you're going to pick sides, right? But at the same time, bro, I really believe that Sarah was the aggressive one. That's it. I'm not going to say that he wasn't a piece of shit and that she wasn't a piece of shit. I'm just saying I think she was the aggressive one. Coming at you all crazy. And he was stupid for not leaving that. You need to disengage from that type of shit, bro. Something's bound to happen.
George and her both expressed to me on many occasions that they knew they needed help. But I'm guessing due to their financial situation, not having any work, probably why they didn't do much.
Right.
You know.
When you saw them together, who looked to be like more dominant? I mean, did one seem to be more dominant over the other?
George was very confident. You know, he wasn't arrogant or anything. He, for the most part, stayed to himself. Like I said, there are a couple people here that he knew, you know, from, I will say, another life from Philadelphia. And, you know, George was the one I always seen driving the vehicle. George is the one I always seen playing with the child. You know, never saw Sarah outside playing with her kid, ever. As a matter of fact, most of the time, you would find him riding around the property on his bike unattended. No parents outside, no nothing. Because I had actually had a conversation with Sarah about that. And I said, you know, the kid was a great kid, don't get me wrong, he never did anything to get me in trouble, but it was more my concern for his well-being. You know, when he's all the way riding over here around some of these corners with the dumpsters, these people don't see nobody, and they sure ain't gonna see no kid outside. So I had a conversation with her about that, and we haven't had any really problems. I can say I've only seen Lucas on his bike away from her like that twice. She actually had secluded him to stay in front of the building, you know, which was fine. I just didn't want him over here.
I just didn't want him getting run over. What's so funny? Oh, the property manager's nervous laughter is kind of irking me a little bit. But yeah, shit. I forgot they even had kids. They're such a nightmare of a couple. I forgot these fuckers even had a kid. Imagine these two having a kid together. I mean, you don't have to imagine it. No, you can see it. Poor child. I mean, honestly, poor kid. Sorry for you.
But yeah, you didn't see Sarah at all. The only time I ever saw her, especially after the incident that took place with Emmett and his ex-girlfriend, it was more like a confrontation that took place in the office. She made an accusation on Emmett saying that he was trying to forcefully, like, I don't want to say rape, but he was trying to push himself on her.
On Sarah?
On Sarah. She made that claim.
Some tenant? A different
Yeah,
tenant?
another tenant that knew George from Philly. And they confronted the two of them. You know, I will say Sarah held her ground when the girl confronted her and asked her and said, you know, don't lie to my face. And Sarah said, yeah, he did, you know. So I was surprised because she knew that girl was but and she's larger than me. So, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well, maybe there's some truth to that. But it ended up, you know, just fizzling out. It was no big deal. After that situation took place, we really didn't see Sarah too much. It was pretty complicated. Those two folks are actually a pretty large family that I have living here on site that actually took up 4 units at that time. So the whole family lived here. Yeah. You know, it's a little intimidating. So after that, we really didn't see a whole lot.
But before that, they would hang out periodically.
The other two families, no, they just knew each other from back in the day.
Oh, the couple that
the kids did.
The kids.
Yes, that's what initially prompted it, and then that accusation was made.
Yeah.
During that same time.
Okay.
So, and when it comes to the kids on my property, I stay very involved with them. We have some issues with our bus routes and all kinds of stuff, and we had some kid vandalism being done, broken glass bottles. They would pull glass bottles out of the trash, breaking them, thought it was fun. And one kid told on another, then the parents got involved. It became a little bit of an issue, so I had to get in the middle to squash it, you know. I didn't want anybody fighting on the property or kids getting hurt for that matter. But,
I'm sorry, this property sounds like the most ratchet place to live ever. I was looking at the video and I was like, oh, the place looks pretty decent, you know. But remember, I live in a different state, so this is probably like a shitty area of the state compared to like where they were. But it seems like there's issues. Like she was the school teacher that had to break up fights all the time. That shit is crazy. It's like, people, I'm a property manager, not your school teacher. Like, what is going on?
Is there anything else that you think is important for us to know about Sarah or George that we haven't discussed?
I mean, no, I don't. Nothing really. Her nickname's Drunk with the Bear. I mean, you know, literally. We know they drank from sunup to sundown.
Would she ever, I know she confided in you a lot, would she ever admit that she was an alcoholic to you,
Yeah.
she would.
Yes. I wish I still had my text messages. She sent it to me on text. I know we drink too much and blah, blah, blah. She had told me that George one time had enrolled in AA and was getting help. Now, brother, that was any truth. I have no idea. A lot of stuff like that I just take with a grain of salt.
Right.
You know, I think she was more concerned about the image that was being put in my head for them, and I think she was just trying to paint a prettier picture.
Right.
Because I will say, it was like a week later, she was drunk. And when we go, you know, inspecting the property and walking around different projects, we do a lot of pressure washing throughout the year. We do that a couple of times. You know, I ride around the back sides of the buildings, checking everything out. We've got a property drainage system back there. You always knew, because you'd ride back there and you'd hear, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, they're drunk falling down, cutting up.
And how do you get that fucked up? Like, how do you get so fucked up to where you're drunk falling down? Like, is that fun? I guess it's fun. You guys let me know. All my former alcoholics, all my current alcoholics. Y'all let me know. Is that shit fun? Because I don't like that shit. I like it when my shit is like nice and wavy and I'm confident but not too confident, and I like that. But once you go a little too far, it's almost like, bruh, this shit is not fun no more. I don't know. I'm curious. Is that fun? Shit, because that shit ain't fun for me. I would like to keep my balance. That's all I'm saying. I'm tumbling over in my own house. Nah, it's too much.
God, I can't imagine being drunk like that all the time. Jeez.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
Promise and swear everything we've talked about has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
Yes.
Since our recording 12-20 hours.
Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. That was it, folks. That was the property manager giving us the goodies, man. Letting us know what the fuck. Letting us know what was going down for real. And I mean, it's obvious. They were just two drunk folks beating each other up. Long story short, you know. And I cannot wait till we get the details. But pretty much, I want to know why she is the way she is. I know they're going to go through family issues. They're going to go through a lot of things, especially her defense. They're going to go through the whole Sarah story to make us feel as much empathy for her as possible. They can't make it look like self-defense, but they're going to make it look like she felt like she had no other choice. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to try to go that route. That's what I think. They can't go self-defense because, I mean, how are you going to say, oh, yeah, I beat him, I hit him, and then he fell over into the suitcase, but he was still trying to hurt me. So then I zipped the suitcase in while he was still fighting, and I was able to close it, and I just told him to stay there and relax until he calms down, and then he accidentally died. That story is not going to work. That self-defense story is not going to fly. So we're going to see what defense comes up with. I'm really interested to see what they come up with. Prosecution is going to be coming for a slam dunk. I know that for sure. And this is Florida, folks. They're not going to play with her ass. But anyways, people, I love you guys, man. I'm going to see you in the next one. Make sure you guys stay inside. Stay safe. You know what I'm saying? And I love y'all, man. I'm out of here.